Let's have a look at the next one because we do have another set for you as well. Right, okay, this is a little bit different actually. This is Incredibly Grateful. That's me today that I've still got my job, I think. Now we, we have got a beautiful stamp set again. We've got the stamp set there, we've got the sentiments in there again, you've got those stencils again, a beautiful frame on this one. Again, if you don't use it in its entirety, you don't have to, you can cut into this, and you've got the die as well. Let's have a look at these. Oh, gratitude turns what we have into enough. That's nice as well, isn't it? I just want to thank you for being my reason to look forward to tomorrow. These are really heartwarming, aren't they? My heart is still smiling. Oh, they are very, very much those, sentiments, aren't they? Thank you for making a difference every day. In all things, give thanks. Yes, and so we should. We've got, I am incredibly grateful for you. I'm trying to read them. Oh, it's no wonder I go home with a crick in my neck. We've got there, grateful for your kindness as well. I'm grateful for the way you listen to me, for the way you understand. Do people actually listen to each other? Yes, they should, shouldn't they? They really should. Thank you for all the small things you do and for your big heart. Really lovely sentiments. Do you know, I like all of these. I couldn't pick a favourite. But if you've got a favourite, then of course you've got those options there. Now there is a £14 saving. So we can split this down to flexi-buy as well. 2 payments at £22.49. Do you know, it's a really, really good price on these as well, because think, you've got that huge stamp set, you've got 3 stencils, and you've got that die as well. Really, really nice. Now, we've got some stencils to show you as well. Now, when I talked about the backgrounds, these are lovely. I've got some samples to show you as well. So let's have a look at what we've got here. Now, this is a set of 2 slimline stencils, because these layer. So if I just, you can see that beautiful design on the front of the first one here. Now, this one's got a little bit of ink on because this is the one I played with. So you can see those 2 different pieces there. You could use those independently, but together you'll get a really, really lovely effect, just like the one that you can see on the packaging there. I do have a little sample to show you at the back here as well. And also you can see how the stamps have been used in a different way from the one-day special. There you go. Isn't that effective? Really lovely. You know, just stamping over the top, using the stamp on the edge of the card coming into the centre and from the other end as well. So you don't have to use that stamp as a whole in its entirety as you see it on the packaging. Then the next one, the same thing again, you've got 2 stencils here, really lovely design. It's kind of the Argyle design, this one, isn't it? That pattern that you get, I think that's the name of it. So again, if I just pull these stencils out so you can see them both, that's what you're getting. Beautiful on their own once again, but if you want to use them together, of course, that's the effect that you're going to get. Another lovely sample here as well. And in fact, this is really nice because if I just show you this one now, you can see ink has been used in the background. And of course, blending those inks so you get the different colours is just gorgeous. And then you can see over the top, that finer stencil, that's actually been embossed. So you could use your, it's actually probably texture paste, that one, but you could use your embossing ink through there or your texture paste to bring out the detail, give that little bit of texture there as well, a little bit of height to it. Very, very effective indeed. Then we have the next one, this one. Oh, this is, I really like this one as well. It's kind of the chevron, isn't it? In fact, it's a double chevron. So let's have a look at this one. You can see the effect there. Again, if you want to use different colours, do an ombre effect, that would look really, really nice with this one. There's your 2 stencils. Absolutely lovely. Oh, I want to play with this one later, actually. I've got 2 shows today doing this, so 12 o'clock. I'll have a bit of a play in between and see what I can come up with. And then, oh, let me show you the card for this one. This works really well. Now, we've got a lovely Merry and Bright card there. That is really nice. Do you know, you could have a day just making backgrounds and then put different sentiments on there. This is a lovely Christmas card, but it doesn't have to be for Christmas. But doesn't that work well? Really do like that. Then, moving on, we've got another gorgeous stencil set here. Now, this is your simple plaid. I think we do have a sample where the one-day special is for this one. I've got a sample at the back, but it doesn't correspond with this, so I'm not going to show it to you. There we are. Now, if I just show you this one, there's your 2 stencils. I'll see if I can spot that. See if I can spot that card sample. Do you know, you could use this as window frames if you wanted to. What I like about these as well, you could trace into these and doodle into them as well, just using your fine liners. So very, very nice. Let's see if I can just spot, actually, the the card sample. I think we might have found it on the camera. That's the one. That's the one. So that's the background that we're looking at there. Beautiful. And it's called the Simple Plaid. So you've got those different choices there, just £9.99 per set, 373,835. If you want to go for more than one set, you can. Very, very useful. Adore those for backgrounds. Now, moving on again, we've got some more stencils for you here. Now, these aren't the dual layer ones. These are individual stencils, but they're still beautiful. Really lovely designs, very contemporary, and you could be very clever with these as well. Overlaying in different ways, building up the backgrounds. I can see with those stripes and those sort of crisscross stripes there as well. That'd be great for Christmas again, to do sort of a candy cane effect. These are really nice. A set of 6 slimline stencil sets here for £29.94. You are saving £6 on this one. Oh, I've just spotted where that other sample's come from. It's one of these here. If I just show you one of these there, you can see that lovely background pattern included in this set, and again teamed with the florals from the one day special as well, or one of the choices from the one day special. Absolutely beautiful. £29.94 with that £6 saving, 810638. There we go. Now we've got some really, really nice dies here. Now, I've only had a play with one set and it was a very quick play, but I've fallen in love with these already. We do have different options here. We're going to start with a stitched rectangle. This was the actual one. Actually, is that the stitched one or is this the stitched one? That looks like the stitched one. This one is this is the diagonal stitched. That's the one that I had a little play with, so we can see that in demonstration. So the diagonal stitch, really, really nice. I'll not spend too long on this because you will see it live. But if I just sort of separate these a little bit, you can see they are nesting as well. So you've got your different layers. It's a really, really lovely effect on here. So you've got your straight edges, but then you've got the decorative edges as well. A really lovely set. Then we do have the stitched edges now. So again, you've got your rectangles here and you can see an obvious stitched edge there. Very effective, always looks really good. These are the perfect size for your longer cards as well. Absolutely beautiful, whether they're horizontal or vertical, they will work beautifully. Now this is a really, really nice one. Love the shape of this one. Again, look, if I just separate these a little bit, you've got, I can't call it a straight edge because it's got that lovely sort of curved top there, that tag-like top. But you've got the stitch in there or the pinpoints there in this one. And again, you can nest these together, use them separately. This is our ornate banner. That's a really nice name. That's an obvious name actually for it, isn't it? Because you can see it is a banner shape. You can make little pockets out of these. These would be great for your journals and your albums, your gift tags, but of course for your cards as well. Let me turn that way up so that it looks a little bit better that way up. There you go. Love it. So you can use them whichever way you want actually. And of course you can use these to make your nice, you know, fold your card and cut on the fold as well to make your folded cards with shape to them as well. Very nice indeed. Right, moving down. Now this is really nice. Let's have a look at the circles. We've got the braided circle and we've got the stitched scallop. Now I don't have any samples for these, so I'm going to try in between the shows to cut these out so we can see the effect of them. Very nice indeed. If you want to do your shaker cards, that's going to be perfect for it. Cutting apertures in there, you've got all that detail. You can see where the cut-in lines are. In fact, the circles, if you look at the scallop circles, you can see the stitching in there, but it doesn't actually cut out the circle. In fact, neither of these do. They're going to cut into the card, but it's going to cut out that beautiful detail for you. So I really want to have a play with these. We'll see what time we get. Now the diagonal stripes, that's what we've got next. These are very nice as well. I think you could be quite clever with these because, you know, these are dies. Again, if you look at the different cutting lines on there, you've got a lot of cutting lines, particularly in this one here. If I turn these round, that's the fancy diagonal. This is how it's going to look when it's cut out. I think layering these up would be amazing, and you're going to get different effects. Use these as stencils as well. Do ink through these, not just for die cutting, and you can of course emboss with dies as well. Very nice indeed. There we are. So that's the end of the counter. Let's just give you the details for these. 794872 is the item number if you want to go for these. You've got lots of options there as well. Great prices, great savings on these as well. We've got a few more items to tell you about. Now we've got some edge dies. These are very nice as well. Very nice indeed. Edge dies for you there. We've got a £4 saving. £17.99, that's all they are. 560965. Then we've got the lacy edges for you as well. Let's have a look at those. There we are. Very pretty. Oh, I've not even seen these. They're not on the counter, are they? These are really good size as well, about 22 centimetres in length. Is that what they are? Oh, we need to see if we can find those. I want to play with them later. £14.99 is the price there. £3 saving, 429, 329. And then we've got the inks for you as well. I'm going to be using the inks. Now, we do have a complete collection, but you can also go for the family of colours individually. So if you want a family of pinks, you can go for them. They're made to go together, but look at the saving on the full collection here. And these are those little cube inks that are really, really handy. So you're getting an awful lot for your money here. Saving £24, 3 payments at £39.96, 190963. Individually, those families of inks are £11.99. They're at the bottom of the screen. So if you work it out, I believe you're not paying for 2 of those in the complete collection. So you're getting 2 sets for free. Really, really handy indeed. Very nice. Oh, we've got some lovely, lovely items. I've got to say, I genuinely only had a very short time just to have a quick play this morning before I came to air. And I'm very impressed with the quality of absolutely everything. I am rolling my sleeves up like I'm in business now. Yes, here we go. They're a little bit flopping my sleeves today. Right, I'm just going to show you these actually. Just found the lovely border dies, the edger dies. So you can see beautiful shapes, beautiful detail on there as well. The lacy ones, very nice. Do like those. Might be able to have a play with those before the next show. Just pop those to one side. Right, okay, so I had a very, very quick play, and it's kind of got my creative juices flowing a little bit because I thought of all sorts of different things that I could do here. But I am going to keep it quite simple for the first demonstration or for this hour, because if you've not seen anything like this before, then we need to start at the beginning, don't we? So let's hope nothing goes wrong now. There we go. I'm sure it won't. Now then, I've got the 3 different stencils there. I've also chosen the background stencils, the dual layer stencils here. What was the name of this one again? See if we can find the name for you. The diagonal plaid, I think that one is. And I've got the stamp set, which is, I believe this is my favourite, the one with that. I'm going to have to use that sentiment that I read out wrong, aren't I, on this one? I think we'll have to bring that into the demonstration. You are my favourite set, this one. So I'm going to be using that. I am going to be using the inks as well. And I've got some cardstock. This is Pink Frog cardstock. They're super smooth. That's what I'm going to work with. Yeah, lots of pink on the show today. Yeah. And as Janice said, I'm in pink as well. Now, I'm going to use a stamping platform just because these are large stamps, and these are great because, you know, if you're using your platform and you miss a little bit of ink, you can go straight back in, but there are techniques you can do with the platforms as well, which mean that you really do want to line things up beautifully. So I'm just going to find my main stamp, which is here. Let's just take this from the sheet. Now, because there's a die to cut this out, I didn't actually pick the die up, I'll have to grab that in a second. Because there's a die to cut this out, I don't have to worry too much about the size of the card, whether it's straight on the edges or not, as long as it's going to fit into my platform, which is a little bit long there, so I'm going to cut that end off a little bit more. Now, we do have a stamping platform on the website. Oh, it's the Press to Impress, which is, of course, the one from John Lockwood and Crafts 2. We can see that on the website. There we are. Get the carry case with it as well. These are brilliant because you can overhang your cardstock from the edges as well. So that means if you want to use bigger pieces, you certainly can do, or stamp on the edge of a page. Very good buy. You're getting magnets included. You also get your case as well, which is fantastic. So absolutely perfect. Right, okay, so I've got my cardstock in my platform. I am just going to put a couple of little magnets there to hold that down. This is a very new stamp. It's only been used once, so it's quite sticky. You know when you take them straight from the carrier sheet, they're very, very sticky. So it may pull up the card. No, it's fine. Right, I am going to use, if I can find it, VersaFine Claire in black, just black ink here, and I'm just going to ink up my stamp. It's a nice juice ink pad, this one, actually. Oh, we've had an email in. This is from Christine. Christine says, they look fabulous. Are they DL size? Well, kind of. They are, but because these are from America, there is a slight difference in sizes of their cards and ours, so we'll see if we can measure. They're about 21 centimetres. So, do you know what? They're a lovely size. We'll see if we can find out exactly. I've got a measuring marks on my mat, haven't I? So let's let's sort that out in a second. Just while I've inked that up, I'm just going to stamp down. DL size is 21 centimetres by 9 centimetres. So I have got a die cut piece actually from one of the sets which I use the largest die, so I'll measure that in a second. Now I've stamped that. I'm quite happy with that print. I don't need to go back in with the ink, that's fine as it is. So I'm just going to take this out. Just going to leave the stamp in there for now because I can tidy that up afterwards. And now the fun starts, because of course we can start adding colour. Now I would recommend that you work with some low tack tape because you don't want this to move around. I am actually going to tape down the cardstock to my glass mat, and then I'm also going to tape down the stencils as well. So where have I put those? There they are. Now the first one I'm going to use, and to be honest with you, I presume these were designed in a way that they have a certain sequence, but actually as I was just having a very quick play before the show, I did actually think, I think there's another way we could work with these. So I'm going to experiment a little bit in between shows and see if I can work with them in a different way for the next show. I genuinely haven't had the chance to try it out. It's just something in my head, so if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I shall be honest about it and I'll say it didn't work. But we'll see. We shall see. So I'm just adding a little bit of low tack tape. I can totally reuse this. So I'm placing on. Now, something that I just managed to catch a little bit of the show with our lovely Skype guest last night with Adam. And I know that the stencils are made so they will not be absolutely accurate to the black outline of the stamp. You may find that they're a little bit offset. You could purposely offset it as well. And that's done on purpose because it gives a very natural, organic sort of look. So with the first one, I'm going to choose some colours, and I think I'm going to go with the pinks. So I've got a little blending brush here. I have borrowed this from Leonie. I hope you don't mind, Leonie. And I think it had some, I think it did have a little bit of a darker ink on here, so you may not see a totally true colour coming through from the pink. But what I will do, I've got some copier paper. Just going to work some of that ink into the brush. That's a really pretty pink, actually. So this isn't the darkest one, this is kind of the second up. I was going to start with the lightest, but I've decided I'm going to go with the second colour up. Now, details on the screen for the inks, full collection at the side of the screen, bottom of the screen, you've got those individual families. So what I'm going to do is just very lightly, I'm going to work into the stencil using the ink that I've chosen. And I am purposely going to blend a little bit darker in some areas. I don't want to keep it all exactly the same, but we're going to build those colours up anyway. So a little bit of the pink. Do you know what I really quite like here as well? Can you see? Don't know if you can see on the edge of the petal there. What I'm purposely going to do, and you could do this with your sponges as well. It doesn't have to be a brush, but these are quite easy to work with. Now, if you look at this area here, we'll see if we can come in nice and close. Can you see where the edge of the stencil is? And it's really picking up the colour a little bit darker. I'm doing that on purpose. Really sort of working into the edge there. So it's bringing in the extra depth of colour. So obviously play around with this. You're going to get different effects depending on the way you add your inks and mediums. You could also go directly into the stencil with your watercolour pencils, your pens, you know, so it's entirely up to you. It doesn't have to be ink, but these inks are absolutely beautiful, actually. I've got to be honest. The fact that you can get so many of these different colour families, I think is amazing. And you know they've been made to work beautifully together. So I'm just keeping it a little bit paler in the centre for now, because I'm going to go with another colour. This is a really pretty pink, actually. I do like it. And you will see the effect that we're going to get just from this first layer, first of all. We always like the reveal, don't we? I'm going to go in a little bit darker with some of those small flowers there. I might bring in another colour, actually. Now, busy on the inks. Now, almost 40% of the full collection of inks is gone. You do get an awful lot of colours here, 48 in total. There's some beautiful colours as well. Now, your water-based techniques as well, that's what I'm hoping to do at 12 o'clock. Brilliant for that. They're fast drying. You get a really good coverage, a very crisp coverage as well. And yes, 48 if you're going for the complete collection. Now, I'm going to kind of skip out a colour now and go to the brightest one, I think. So, same family. I'm still working with the pinks. I'm just sticking with the pinks for this one. Really good for your blends, and especially if you're going for the one-day special or one of the options, because you've got your stencil there and all those areas are cut out for you, you can blend very easily from the stencil because you've got lots of filled-in areas there, lots of sort of, it's mylar, isn't it? That's what a stencil is made of. So use that as a blending tool. So bring in your colour from the edge. Now, I do know that it's not so much on this one, but if you find there's an area where you want to add colour and you've got too many cutouts in the way, just mask them off with some tape. So I'm just now using the darker colour, and I am just more or less going to the bottom of the petals here. So I'm bringing in that darker colour while I've got this stencil in place, even though I have got other layers to add as well. So I'm starting at the bottom. I'm using the mylar there. You can see I'm blending on top of there, and I can blend inwards to the stencil itself. So this larger flower, I want that quite bright. Same with this one here. I'll start on the mylar and come into the stencil, and then I think we'll just pick out the colour on one or two of these little flowers at the bottom again. Just sort of a random mix of light and dark. Okay. I think I'm quite happy with that actually. Just add a little bit more colour to the outside of the petals there. So let's take this particular stencil off. I'm going to reuse the tape because it is reusable, it's repositionable. Brilliant for the stencils. Let's take that off. I love the reveals because you never know what you're going to get, do you? Oh, that is so pretty already. That is absolutely beautiful. And I've only used 2 inks at the moment. And actually, I could have probably got away with just the 1 ink out of that family there. But when you're buying in families, use them because they are absolutely beautiful. Right, the next one I'm going to do is this layer. Now, let's make sure I've got that the right way around to match my flowers. And you can see where the area is that we're going to have exposed there. So there's not many cutouts on this one, they're quite small, but this is really going to work beautifully. So I'm going to add my tape again. Nice to be able to tape down all 4 sides because it, you know, you want to be secure, you don't want this moving around. Okay, so and the fact that that's repositionable, it's not an expensive job, is it? So you want to make sure you do this nicely. Now what I thought with this one was maybe bring in a different colour. And I thought, what goes with the pink? What will blend beautifully? Well, blue would because you'd get purple. Yellow would because you'd kind of get an orangey colour. What shall I go with? I'm going to ask the gallery. Blue or red? Blue or yellow, I mean. Blue, the same blue. Right, I haven't used the blues yet, so let's see. Oh, let's bring one of these in. Actually, I'm going to go for this one. Which family is this from? There's 2 different blue families. We've got a family that's got sky blue, summer showers, seaside and storm in it. Oh, I should have used that. That's my maiden name, Storm. It's telling me I should use that one, isn't it? Shall we go for it? Do you know, it's the darkest one. I wasn't going to choose that, but I've got to do it. Right, we've got another colour family that's got Slumber, Sapphire, Stargazer and Blue Jay in it as well. So the one that I'm using, oh, it's the darkest blue that's available as well. Oh, I hope this is going to look all right. I'll blame the gallery if it doesn't. They said you've got to go with Storm. You've just got to do it. If it works really, really well, I'll say it was my idea. I might have to go back to my maiden name because it does sound like a superhero, doesn't it? Yes. Right, okay. Oh, I hated that name. I hated my name at school, but I quite like it now. Right, okay, so I'm using this. This is a clean sponge I've got here as well, so you can see now I've just, you know, dabbed that into the ink there and rubbed that onto the paper just to blend it in a little bit. It's quite a purpley colour anyway, so I've got a feeling it might work very, very well, but we're soon going to find out. I am taking some of the ink off there because I don't want too much colour, but I'm just going to go in with that onto these little areas. And again, if you don't get this fully lined up, I wouldn't worry about it because it just adds to the whole effect. So I'm just going in again. Again, I'm using the mylar of the stencil to blend and sort of come into the base of the flower there. I'm going to have a little bit more of the blue at one side than the other. Okay, and we'll just add a little bit of the blue. Whose idea was it to use this one? I think it's really nice. Was it mine? Oh Oh dear, it was actually the gallery said, go on, use Storm. I think it looked really good. I think they're right. I think it's going to look really nice. Yeah. We're just going by the name, yes. A bit like when you're choosing those horses in the Grand National. You know, you just... I like the sound of that. We'll go with that one. There we are. But you can see you've got that lovely colour coming through there. Kept it quite subtle, actually, that. I'd quite like that. They're not convinced in the gallery. Maybe they will be. Maybe they will be when we go with the next layer. You've just got to make sure that you get the stencil the right way, of course, because if you don't, by that what I mean is, if I turn it that way, look, you can see, actually what you could do, I've just thought, you could do that and add more leaves of you. I'm going to do this next hour. You could stencil through, then use a fine liner to put in your own detail as well. I'm going to play with this in between the hours. I've got a bit of presenting to do as well, so... If I wander off during the hour with the ladies from Scarlet Rose, then you know where I am, don't you? Right, because the gallery did such a good job of choosing colours, I'm going to ask them which colour they want now. Would you like... now we've got evergreen, emerald, meadow and mint, or we could go more of the turquoisey colours, which are ocean breeze, aquamarine, mermaid cove or tidal pond. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Our producer's going to choose. Come on, Lottie. Oh, I'll go for you. I'm going to go for aquamarine. Aquamarine I'm going for. Let's test the colour. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's kind of... I'm going to go with a couple, actually. So aquamarine, again, I'm not going to go too heavy with the colour. I'm going to keep it quite subtle. I'd like Lottie to choose another green, actually. I'm just changing my mind as I go along here because I've decided on something else. Oh, fresh pear. Where's that? Have I opened that one? Fresh pear. Oh, that's... Oh, we've got lots of greens, actually. That's in a pack I've not even opened. We'll have a look at that one, see if that's going to work. So I'm going can with this. This is really nice again. One colour again, look. Get your different blends. Don't just go with one colour, you know. Do build the layers up. They're really, really nice. Start off subtle. Work your colours into your paper or a piece of scrap card and then build on it. If you do go in a little bit heavy, it won't matter so much because you've got such small areas cut out here. You're not really going to ruin anything because it's not as though you're colouring the whole background. So you're not going to get those lines, those hard lines and things like that. So I'm just going to go back in now and add a little bit more colour just into those leaves. A bit of yellow would work as well if you wanted to add a bit of yellow. Give a different tone. There we are. Right, okay, so I'm just going to take this away. That is really nice. Isn't that nice? That is lovely. Absolutely lovely. Oh, I do like that, actually. Right, okay, so let's put that to one side. And then, of course, we can die cut this. So we've got the die. Oh, I didn't get the die, did I? I just have to grab the die. Where is it? Is that the die? I think it's that one. Right, so the die itself, obviously you've got to make sure you get this the right way as well. There we are. So you can see this is going to give you a little border, but not a great big border. So do sort of position this nice and carefully and do tape it down because if it does move, then obviously it won't look quite the same. So I'm just going to tape this down using the same tape as well. A standard die cutting machine. Let's bring this in. And this will give us a really, really nice effect. And then we'll move on to the background piece and the dies for the background. And I have a little tip for everybody if you haven't got the larger die cutting machines for some of these dies as well. Most of them will go through a standard machine, the one I'm using now, the A5 machines. But if you haven't got, or if you have got a larger one, that's great. If you haven't, you can get round it for some of the larger dies. Right, let me just bring this into shot again so you can see that. That looks really, really nice, doesn't it? Really nice, very effective. I was going to ink into the background, but I don't think I'm going to now. I'm going to leave it as it is. Right, now then, we will bring in some other bits and pieces. So, another die set. I might have to grab this actually. I don't know if you want me to do a recap and then on the way down the counter, I can pick up the dies that I need. Don't know. We'll do that, and then we'll come back. So I'm carrying on with this one demonstration, but I'm moving on to other products. So, shall we have a recap of the one day special first? Let's do that. Right, now we've got options for you here. So there we are. There's the first option. Is that the one I've just been using? That's floral. No, it's not. That's Floral Notes. Very nice indeed. Very nice. So again, you've got the 3 stencils, the die, and the flowers as well. 60% of the stock has gone on this one. 2 payments of £22.49. 922780. Of course, you're saving £14. And take advantage of FlexiBuy. Same item number, different option is You Are My Favourite. That's the one I'm currently working with. There we go. Almost a third of the stock has gone at that one. Very nice. And then the Grateful, beautiful, that beautiful frame here. Again, same item number. Almost a quarter of the stock has gone. Now, the stencil set that we've got for you, very busy actually. 6 stencils. These are really, really nice. I think I might have to disappear, you know, when I'm supposed to be presenting. I just want to play with everything. I really want to try these. 810638 is the item number. 6 stencils here. £6 saving, £29.94. 810638. These are a really big stencil. Now, they're called Slimline for a reason. That will become clear at the next part of the demonstration. Any of the stencils we've got on the show will work in the same way, size-wise. So it'll all become very, very clear if you're multi-buying across the board. Now, they are 11 centimetres by 24, so a really, really good size. As I say, there's a little trick I'm going to show you with the die cutting machine for the dies that are coming up as well, because they work perfectly with those stencils. Right, when we look at the dies, we have got lots of options again here for you. Really, really nice detail. And I can say, I've only used that one set, which I'm going to take with me in a second. But it cut like a dream. I'm quite desperate to try everything out. I'm really loving this product. I love the whole counter. £19.99 is the price here, saving £4. So the first one we've got here is the one I'm actually going to be using, and it's the diagonal stitch. And you've got multiple dies in there as well. So you've got they are all straight edge, obviously, because they're rectangles, but you've got the detail in some of them, you've got the plainer edges on others. They all nest together. Great for your matting and layering, great just used individually as well. The most popular is the stitched rectangle, which is the one in the centre here. Lovely. I love stitching as well. That is absolutely beautiful. Oh, one of my favourites. I've just spotted another sample for this. I'm just going to grab it. One sec. I love this one because it's the shape of it, isn't it? It's beautiful. Great for your journals, great for your cards, little pockets for your gift cards and things like that. Let's get that the right way up. Now, this has been used with the decorative detail at the bottom, but of course you could use it either way up. Isn't that lovely? Have you spotted the stencil in the background as well? That was in the previous set, I believe, the set of 6. Was it in the set of 6? Yes, it was. Beautiful. So, goes very, very well. Now, down at the front here, we've got more dies for you. We've got the circles. Now, these, I am certainly definitely going to cut these out just so we can see what they look like. Great for your shaker cards, great for your apertures. Do you know, you could cut out, I can see on the ones with kind of the floral sort of, as though they've got petals around. I don't know, I can't remember the name. That will cut out the circle, so you've got the circle to use as well. So you could make sort of those dangly things in your cards and use them for masking off and all sorts of purposes. Really nice. The scalloped circles there. And you've got the braided as well. Beautiful. I wonder if you could thread ribbon through there or thread through there. I have to have a look at that as well. And then you've got the fancy diagonals. Really like these as well. And they're diagonal. In fact, let's turn those around again so you can see. There we are. There's one. And here is the other one. There we are. Very nice indeed. Cutting out in one colour and overlaying another. So say you're cutting out in red and overlaying on white, so you've got that candy cane sort of effect again, would look really, really nice. Now on the website, is it Sunday? It is, isn't it? The launch this morning, new 7-day savers. That's what we've got. Oh, we've got books for you. We've got mirror card, or all your tapes. You need your essentials. The purple tape that I'm using to hold down, that's in that bundle, and you've got the red liner in there, and you've got, it just looks like a double-sided tape in there as well. 5-star reviews, great for all your essential purposes. You've got vellum there. Do you know, vellum with these stamps would look amazing. I wonder if we've got some vellum I can find. Do you know, I think I've got a bit too much to fit into 1 hour. Oh, I wonder if we can get some. And some black card I want for next show. Can I have some, please, from the 7-day savers, everybody? Oh, I like that. The Winter Wreath and Tree Creator Kit. Look at that. Oh, I really like that. Oh, I wonder if I could bring that into a demo. Oh, I don't want to do presenting. I want to play with all these goodies. Look at that, that's amazing. Oh, £12.99 as well. I think I might have to go shopping. £12.99. £12.99. We've got some great 7-day savers, haven't we? Love it. Absolutely love it. Wow. First time I've seen those. Generally, we don't get to see them till they've launched. We don't know what's coming up. So when we're presenting, it's like, well, these are the 7-day savers. And it's like, oh, look what we've got this week. Right, now then, I am going to die cut next. And I'm going to use those rectangles. Let me just remove the tape from there. I've just literally picked those dies up. Where have I put them? Did I pick them up? Did I pick them up? Oh, I might have to go with a stitched one instead. I'm sure I picked it up. Can't even see it. Right. I might have to just wander just for a second. We've got something else to show you as well, an advent calendar. Let's have a look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, I've never seen these before. These are really nice, aren't they? Very nice indeed. Oh, £9.99 as well. Oh, do have a look at the details for those. No, I didn't bring the dies with me. They're still on the counter. Right, but I've got them now. This is what I was talking about with the dies, though. Size-wise. Oh, I said I'd measure for that lady, didn't I? Was it who emailed in? Christine. I've got inches on here. I don't know if we can convert this. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. Oh, it's not got the full measuring thing on it. I can't do all the measuring. Let's go. Right, 15 to there. No, I'm not going to do that. 15 to there. Let me find. Oh, I got a pen. 15. It's 15 adds 7. 22. They are 22 in length. 22. So a DL card, we said, was about 21, didn't we? So they're a little bit bigger because these are American. Saying that, this is the largest of the set. So as you go down in size, you will definitely find ones that fit a UK DL as well. But I want to show you with the largest one simply because I know many people won't have the bigger die cutting machines. And if I just bring this out, I have got the longer plate, but I've only got the shorter. I've got the platform, but I've only got the shorter plate. Now, if I just put that on there, if I'm very, very careful, it fits exactly. So the cutting line is actually just and only just within that plate. But the brand of plates I've got here, they've got little chamfered edges. They're not flat, so I'm not going to get the pressure as I need it. So it's not quite big enough, but it's easy to get round that. So whatever machine you've got, if you've only got an A5 machine, I would certainly do what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to get some cardstock first of all. Oh, we've had an email in as well. This is from Maria. Oh, this is nice. Right, Maria says she's loving watching. I'm very grateful for that, actually. That's very nice indeed. That makes me feel a lot better. Now, Maria said she's got the stuff, but she doesn't want to venture into stamping and colouring, so she might get it wrong. Do you know what? I would say don't overthink it, Maria, but with this technique, with the stencils, a little bit of ink, as you've seen there, or some watercolour on a brush, you don't even have to think about it. Just go straight in. I'll tell you what we'll do. We've got lots of inks on the show, and they have been busy as well, but what I will do, for 12 o'clock, if you join us then as well, I've no idea what I'm actually going to make, because I honestly haven't got this planned, but I will purposely bring in some other items, some watercolour pens or some crayons or something like that, to show you other ways of adding colour without having to worry about colouring in and being accurate with your colouring in. So do tune in again at 12 o'clock. In my head, I've got a mental list of all the things I said I'm going to do, and I don't think an hour's long enough, but we will do our best. But I'll do that for you, Maria. Right, okay. Now, when it comes to the cardstock, I've just cut a piece of card, obviously, that's bigger than the die itself. So what I tend to do, and everybody's different, but I tend to put my cardstock with the blade facing upwards and the cardstock on top, but that's entirely up to you. I am going to tape this down to make sure that this doesn't move. So let's just put a little bit of tape there. Now, we do have some cardstock for you on the show. Colours may vary, but it's only £9.99. Look at this, for a whole selection A4 card. I've got to admit, I'm using Pinkfresh Super Smooth because I've been using the inks and stamping, and I know it's great. Oh, look at this though, all your colours. Wow, 200 sheets. for £9.99. Wow, do get that. Look at the GSM as well. 160 to 320 GSM, so you've got variations. Is that, what's that? Is that an actual item on this show then? I just see, they didn't tell me about that, did they? I could have used that. £9.99. Put that in your basket and get it. Don't miss out. Put that in your basket and get it. I would do. Right, I'm going shopping after. Right, okay, right, I want to try and rush through the rest of this demonstration because I know I've only got 10 minutes left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my plate on the top, and I have purposely left, if I turn it this way, you can see that I've got the die hanging out at that side. I want to make sure I've got some good pressure at the top. It is important to take this down to make sure it doesn't move, and I'm going to send that through the die cutting machine. So I'll go through once. These cut beautifully, by the way. You don't need to send them through twice, but because of the technique I'm doing, and this only counts if you've got the smaller plates, you can see there how it's only cut part of it. Now I'm just going to check that that hasn't moved, and then I'm going to just move that up onto my plate. Make sure now I'm trapping the other end, so make sure that has been moved up without disturbing that die. I don't want to pull the tape off there. And there, I'm going to send that through again. If this goes horribly wrong, I've got one I did earlier. But I just want to show, you don't have to worry about the fact that you don't have the larger machines. If you've got a die that's too big like this, you can get away with it. And as I say, the other dies will fit perfectly without having to do this, but you can see, look. Perfect, absolutely perfect. And you've got that beautiful detail around the edge there as well. Let's bring this in. This is a diagonal stitch line. It's really effective, actually. There we are. Very nice, isn't it? I love that. I do like the detail on that one. Right, I'm going to put that die safe so I don't lose that, because that's not mine. Now, what I am going to do now is take some more double-sided tape. And what I'm actually doing with this is I'm going to roll it in on itself. Because I do want to hold this card down, I'm going to do a couple of pieces actually just to make sure this doesn't move. Don't use foam pads or anything like that because you need this flat. So make sure it's a tape that will pull away without marking your card. So I'm going to place that down. Then I'm going to go with the first of my stencils. Now, what I was saying to you as we went down the counter, these are made to fit perfectly. This is the largest die set from one of the rectangles. If I pop that down, can you see how that fits absolutely perfectly to that die? So, you know, you could stencil first and then die cut, but I've chosen to die cut and then stencil simply because I'm going to be able to pick up the detail of the stitching line as well. So I'm just going to get a little bit more tape because I want to make sure all four sides are fastened down. And because that card is stuck down to the mat, hopefully it's not going to move anywhere. If you don't stick it down as you're blending, it is likely to move. Right, gallery, I need your help. Colours. This is the background for my beautiful flowers. What colour are we going with? Which family of colours? A nice light blue I'm hearing. Right, let's go for sky blue, and we're also going to go with seaside. They're from the same family. Okay, so let me find a brush. Let's have a look at the families again, just as a reminder. There we are. £11.99 for 4. If you're going for the full collection, you can get them on FlexiBuy as well. 3